Hello and welcome back to Aztec's video tutorial number 3. This is the follow-on to the previous one, 2, which showed you how to add columns, etc. to your web page. So we're going to get straight back into it. We're going to go all pages here. And I'm going to select my new web page again. And we should now be greeted by the Fusion Builder. Keep your eye on the blue button here. It says Default Editor. If it says Fusion Editor there, then for some reason it's been disconnected and you need to reapply it. So click on it and it should then come back up with Default Editor here and Fusion Builder here. So we've still got our 3 columns in here. This time we're going to put in images and image rollovers. So we're going to come up to the top here and select Builder Elements. Going to find the image frame, pull it down and drop it in. When it's in place, I'm simply going to click on the edit and you'll see immediately frame style type with the drop down. You can play around with these, they are various effects. You can also now choose whether you wish to have a border on the image. That's set by the number of pixels. Simple rule of thumb is you can see my cursor is now turned into a funny shape. That would be approximately 1 pixel. So if you decide you want your frame, your border or your frame to be thicker, then you can go for 3 pixels, 4 pixels, 5 pixels, anything you like. All you do is simply change it here. So 3 pixels. You can also set color. If you click here, you'll get the color picker up. Be aware that these can be changed. So if you click red, for example, here, you can change it here to whatever you like anyway, and you can make it darker, make it lighter. So that's the color picker. You can set border radius here. Again, this has to be done in pixels, so it does tell you have to have px on the end. So if you set, for example, a border radius of 10 pixels, then each corner on the board on the frame will be rounded. Right, this bit we don't need to worry about. Style, if you're unsure what to put for style, then put center. Remember that it's only going to align relevant to the column it's in. So if you put right, it's not going to jump all the way across the page. But if you want it to align correctly inside the actual column you've created, then I would normally select center for this. Selecting none is a really bad idea. If it's being viewed on a mobile and there's no information being given, all sorts of crazy things can happen. So if you put center, it's locked to using the center. Now, this section, image lightbox, we'll come back to in a second. Let's find our image first. So here's the image. I'm going to simply click upload. And there's not a great deal in here, so I'm going to pull something in from my desktop. Let's see what we've got available to us for images. Let's have a quick look. Here we go. Here's a nice little candy card. We'll have that. Now you can see the image is uploading here. I haven't changed any of the sizes or the format or anything like that to make it smaller for faster loading or anything, so you can see exactly how long it takes for an ordinary image file to upload. Once it's uploaded, you'll see it's 690 by 636. You can edit the image size by clicking edit here. You can also put in an alt text here, but we're going to do it on the page instead. And then all I'm simply going to do is click insert into page. Once it's in my page, it's there. I'm going to give it the alt text. This is in case your image isn't displayed correctly. Then you usually get a little white icon with a broken piece of paper in it. This will tell anybody viewing the page what is on the image. So here I'm going to write candy card image. Now, the next bit is the interesting bit. Here you'll see it says a lightbox image. If you click on that, you can actually select the same image. Scroll down the page and you'll see at the bottom here I can have full size, medium or thumbnail. So I'm going to choose full size here and insert into the page. Now I'm going to get the full size image, which right at this minute is exactly the same as the one I already have. So if I go back to this, and I'll show you the difference by removing it, clicking upload again, and then coming down the page, I can actually select 150 by 150, for example, which is a thumbnail version of the image. And now when we go back, you'll see the difference. One large, one small. In order to make this work so that if anybody clicks on the image, this will automatically open in a complete new window in full size, you need to activate image lightbox here. So it says image lightbox no, and we're simply going to change that to yes. That is it. There's nothing else on here you need to play around with unless you actually want to. You can't do any damage here, so feel free to have a go. When you're happy with all your changes, I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to click update. You'll notice this button says update, not publish. That's because the page has already been published the first time. Once it's published, it will then need updating. So as soon as that's finished saving, there we go. I can come back to the nursery. I can just refresh the page. And here is the text we put in last time. Here's the title, the 3 boxes. You'll notice there's a gap in between where we've put the spacer in. And here is the image lightbox in action. And to close it, they simply click here. So that's how we put those in, and how you can activate the image lightbox. You can use a full-size image. Remember, if you're using a full-size image, there's no point in putting a lightbox on it as well, because they're already viewing the right size. That is only if you need to show a larger version of the image. Now, before we finish, I'd like to just show you how to use the carousel. And this is, as it states, a carousel. So I'm going to select it at the top here and pull it down. And hopefully I'm going to get it in the right place. There we go. Then I'm going to click edit. Now basically, picture size, fixed or auto, that's entirely up to you. I would normally go with auto. If you're using auto, then it's going to be responsive to a mobile telephone. If you're using fixed, it may not show correctly on an a mobile telephone. Now this will create a image rotator basically. You can choose how many columns you want to change, but I tend to find that 1 is about my limit. Otherwise 3 or 4 images all changing at the same time is a little confusing for anybody to follow along with, but the option is there. So I select 1 here, which means I'm going to have 1 big image right in the middle of the page. So here you have the option to choose the navigation. That's the small arrows at the left and right of the images that you'd normally see on a gallery, so you can click to go backwards and forwards. That's what that means. Mouse scroll, you can use that if you wish. If you want somebody to be able to drag with the mouse to change images, then you can select this, but it's not something I would normally use. Border, yes or no. It will automatically apply the right size border that it considers to be correct. Do you wish the gallery to show in an image lightbox? Normally for this I would tend to say no if I want to contain it on the page. You can select yes if you, for example, want to put let's say you've split your page into 3 and you'd like to put an image rotator or a carousel just in the 1 column. Then you can put thumbnails in at 150 by 150, select the image lightbox, and if anybody clicks on any of the thumbnails, it will open the full carousel in a big lightbox and they can go through the images that way. Normally when I'm using carousel, I tend to just use the 1 carousel on a page, and I like to show the whole thing, a little bit like a carousel gallery. So it's relatively simple from here on in. Image carousel item 1. Going to simply scroll to image, upload your image as we did with the previous image, and give it an alt text, and that is all you need to do with that. If, for example, you want to put image number 2 in the carousel, you simply click add and number 2 option will appear, and that looks exactly the same as number 1. You don't need to use any of these image lightbox options or anything like that. WordPress will sort the rest of it out for you. Simply upload the image, give it the alt text, click save. In this case I'm going to click cancel, and then update your page, and that is how you will put an image carousel in.